Mr. Rahman, if you could just brief us very, quickly on safety norms क्या होनी चाहिए, basic safety norms.
Basic safety norms.
And especially public buildings.
Yeah, the active and passive system must be there. In active systems, we should have the this fire extinguisher, fire sprinkler systems, and the fire hydrant system. Beside in detection system, fire alarm system, we should have, and chain of command. What he has told you, chain of commands and the controlling of the people. Okay, if suppose something happened, so within short time of period, they control the things over there. Whether we have what system we have installed, whether they are adequate. Number one, number two, whether they are in the operation and they have been checked regularly, or the drills are there or not. This is the main thing of the safety. We should follow regularly, and 1 or 2 persons should be deputed over in the shift also before taking the charge. Okay, what is happening in our whether they are working or not, our system, hydrant system, sprinkler system, whether this is working or not. Unless and until we will not go this type of things. And
how frequently should we have these checks?
In every shift. If suppose some 8 or 9 pupils are there, or in which one person should be trained and take the responsibility to check all these things. So I think we can avoid these type of accidents over there. This type of accidents, otherwise they will occur.
Because when you are going to get a license to mil gaya, usko renew, how quickly do you have to renew it?
Every year they renew it. But that
it's
is
just a formality on paper.
That's otherwise whatever system fire extinguisher we have installed, whether they are working or not, main thing is that the hydrant system or the sprinkler system which we have put, whether this is the operation, whether the pump system, what we have been put over there, adequate or not, that take the load of the fire if suppose something happened over there.
So in other words, sir, even when you renew your fire license, does anybody come in to check to check the equipment is working? Like he's saying, sprinklers working. Like this hospital particularly said that alarms didn't work. I don't even think the fire extinguishers must have worked. Nobody knew how to use them.
Yes, I think this is a very pertinent issue, very pertinent issue. When it comes to the licenses in the government setup, probably we will get it. There is no difficulty in getting the license because there are things available, sprinklers, they are visible, right? Everything is there, sensors, they are there. We may get that. But the bottom line again is the things that we must see. The person who is coming for inspection should also see that we do that thing at that time, see whether that the sprinkler they work, the sensor they are working. I think the sensor should be seen.
Right. Well, I'm going to take a very short break, but do stay with us. Welcome back. We are discussing whether we've learnt anything from the tragic fire accident in Kolkata. Dr. Bahadur, yes, Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee has also pointed out by saying that such negligence or this kind of a horrific show that happened in Kolkata's private hospital, is it particularly, there's no forgiveness to it because particularly it's a private hospital and they charge so much to their patients. So would we say, because we charge so much to our patients, what about the other government hospitals?
I think this is again a very important question when it comes to the life of a person, right? Whether it's a government hospital or a private hospital, right? The life is the same.
Yes.
In numerous cases, we have seen now the consumer courts, they are even putting the so-called the punishments in the form of money, right, from the hospitals. Even today it was in the paper that one doctor, rather two doctors from PGA, they have been asked to pay around 6 lakhs rupees. So unless such things they are there at the top for the health administrator of the government hospital also, I think they have to become sensitive that the consumers, they will have their right, whether it's a government hospital or a private hospital, to pay for what the loss is.
Mayank, of course, आपके hospital में तो पहले ही इतने rules हैं, maybe because it is more on an international level. I'm sure Fortis and hospitals like this have their norms in place. Do you have the government coming in and telling you कि ये norms होने चाहिए, or they're not bothered?
Actually,
You're doing it on your own private level. The Apollo Hospital is doing it on its own.
Actually, the rules have been passed by the government, but the thing is, in India we have that what we call the chalta hai attitude.
Yes.
If the people come here and if anyone comes for inspection, they'll ask me, Doctor Sahab, ye chalta hai, and I'll say, हाँ जी, काम तो करता है. But even at that time, I'm sorry to say, but even we don't check at that time. Even the government and the inspecting people who are coming for that, they are not checking it whether whatever I'm saying is really in operation or not. And that's the place where we really lack. We have to have this attitude that I have to be very responsible for it.
Yes.
And then every person who works on that machine, if I'm working on in an operation theatre, somebody is working in another part of the hospital, I have to be responsible for my whole of my environment. I have to be there.
Dr. Raj Bahadur, after this incident, did you kind of think about your hospital? Did you have certain checks then?
No, certainly. I think this is eye-opening for me, and as a responsible person, it is my duty to see that at least I do the audits. I should see that the fire system, the sensor system, is checked by a responsible person, and I must get that sort of a checklist is there, and somebody should come and put that's okay. Today it has been done, and every day it should be seen, and the register should come to the medical superintendent to see whether the things they are done or not.
Exactly. This
So
should be
some sort of a mock fire drill also for the staff and getting them a little prepared. Where would you say, like, you've seen what happened in Calcutta.
Yeah.
So what would you have learnt and said, okay, now I'm sure I'm going to implement this now?
No, I would urge that we should have a mock drill, number one. Number two, that the checklist must be made in the hospital to see that this sort of incident doesn't happen, which includes the fire sensing system should be seen effectively, that is working or not, and the health administrator, the medical superintendent must get the report from the different sensors that all the sensors they are working. If the one sensor is not working, I learned that the other sensor can also pick up. So this system should be seen. We have in the basement the sprinklers. The sprinkler cannot be put into the wards because they will, suppose you do the so-called the drill, it will be everything will be wet. It cannot also be put into the operation theatre.
Yes,
The
yes.
sprinklers they are put into the basements so our basements where the stores they are there, and the other sprinklers they are in the parking. So at least we have seen, at least once or twice I have seen that the sprinklers in the parking area has been checked, they were working.
Yeah, this should be checked regularly.
Mr. Rahman, ever since this incident has happened, have you got more calls? People asking?
No, so far nobody has come.
What about, okay, hospitals, yes, is very susceptible to fire because of equipment and you never know, and of course a lot of public coming in. What about our malls?
Malls, they have not approached us.
I mean, a fire can take place anywhere.
Lot of malls are there, but I think they had not adequate safety system over there. Chandigarh also.
In Chandigarh, there's no way that
they are having arrangement, but responsible persons are not deputed over there.
So
This what exactly safety says. One expert, one safety person must be deputed over there to check verify the things over there, whether the
So in other words, we haven't really learnt much.
And more staff also we get trained, adequate training over there, so that they are always refresh their memories when they are on the job also. Regular retraining is also there. And moreover, exit system must be clear.
Yes.
At least two exit must be there, so that in case one is blocked.
Because in this particular incident, they were, other than glass windows, it was very expensively made, and of course ill-equipped on safety norms, and the staff was unprepared. Also, there were very narrow lanes.
Narrow lanes are.
So, when you are building a structure,
it is very difficult to approach the fire tenders and other machineries over there.
So would you entirely blame the hospital to it, or would you also say that the government who's passed those rules?
Government is also solely, both are responsible for that. You can say.
What would you say,
one
Dr. Bahadur? Would the government's role be as important in an incident like this?
No, I think the government role is very, very important in the sense that whenever the responsibility comes to them for finalizing the architectural designs of the hospital, they should be they should
Taken
take it
care.
very seriously, that whether a city like Calcutta, which is otherwise crowded, and in a small place you make a hospital, right? And if the hospital design they are not proper, these catastrophes can happen. So I think the government responsibility and the representative of the government who is looking after these hospital, when the architectural designs they are finalized and approved by the government, that should be seen.
Yeah. Mayank, anyway, finally, what lessons would you say one would learn from an incident like this?
First of all, there should be a clear chain of command. Secondly, there should be mock drills. Thirdly, what is most important is that you have to train your staff. They should be trained about how to use the equipment in case of a fire. Not just they just don't know fire extinguisher to hai hamare paas, but how to use it is more necessary. If every one of us knows, then somehow somewhere some person can save someone's life. And that is the ultimate aim in a disaster management.
Right.
You have to save lives.
Of course.
That's right.
Mr. Rahman, would you say there would be any change in do you feel people are a little more aware and would want safety norms in place in spite of nobody doing
now
much?
the industries and these hospitals and the big buildings, they are having safety norms over there now, because some fire officer and the government officials, they have been having approach over there, so they have been now safety conscious.
Last words, Dr. Bahadur.
I would say that the moment this news was coming, the Secretary Medical of Chandigarh Administration immediately phoned to me that Raj Bahadur, look at the news and this must not happen in my. This is the sensitivity. The Secretary Medical Education Union Territory of Chandigarh phones immediately to the Director Medical College Chandigarh that this is the thing which we should see, that it must not happen. So since last night, right, the moment I got this, I am on this issue and we should see that these things, they are not happening in my hospital at least.
Right, right. Well, thank you so much, gentlemen, for being with us.
Thank you.
Well, yes, certain lessons have been learned. People are getting a little aware, but are we doing enough? That's something that has to come about. Well, it's time for us to take a short break, but do stay with us.